This is Public Access Be Kind Rewind Part 4. We'll do a recap in a bit, but first I want to invite Santiago to turn the key of the child and give us a flashback.
All right, I'm going to give the flashback to the moment when I experienced childhood trauma. You recall that I really worked hard to earn my collection of the Mad Balls, and I got the final one, the Oculus Orbis, and was quite satisfied with that. It was kind of like my moment when the Circle K became my my home base, my source of happiness. This childhood trauma, though, my brother Lou, short for Louis, but he liked the St. Louis Cardinals, so he had to call himself St. Lou. Uh, he thought he was good at baseball. He really wasn't, and he was using those Mad Balls of mine to practice his baseball swing in the backyard and simultaneously teach the dog to fetch. By the time I notice, half the Mad Balls are chewed up, covered in slobbery goo and sand and all that stuff. They're just ruined. There's only one that's not destroyed yet, and that's the Oculus Orbis. And so I'm hollering and screaming. Dad comes out. He tries to give me the moralistic, slap on the back lesson. And he says, "Son, life's going to take bites out of you again and again." Y'all might recall I got bitten by the deep lake lurker. So Dad gives this, "Son, life's going to take bites out of you. You just got to get used to it." And as I'm like almost thinking like, yeah, he's right, over his shoulder, I see my brother knock a home run with that Oculus Orbis. It clears the fence and goes straight down the sewer drain. And that's it. Just lost it. Childhood ruined.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, um, so let's recap. So we have two active mysteries currently: the Deep Lake Lurker and Slumber Party Summoning Circle. Deep Lake Lurker, you have collected 5 clues so far, trying to figure out if the lurker is a beast of some sort or if it is Jessica Stosky in some other form. And for Slumber Party, um, you have 3 clues to determine if Linnea is possessed by a sorrowful ghost or something more demonic in nature. And that is sort of where, at a high level anyway, where things stand. For your TV Odyssey question, what happened to TV Odyssey? You currently have 2 clues on a complexity 6 question there. And taking a look at the Latchkeys, we don't have Dash, but Santiago, you are clear on conditions. Crystal, you are the next victim, I fear. And Tanya, you have Can't Get There From Here and My Two Casey's. Let's continue on with our day phase. I'll remind you, if you need to change your dawn questions, you should do so now. Some time has passed, maybe a week or so, since all of the events that have been going on. Pine Rock Ridge is still closed down because of the murders. And so while you can still investigate that mystery, well, actually, it might be easier to investigate it now because there's not a bunch of kids running around anymore at Pine Rock Ridge Camp. And you've heard some stories about Linnea's strange behavior. For example, one night she was seen at the church, Our Lady of Pure Waters Catholic Church, the only Catholic church in town. She was seen there, found by the priest, kind of, again, in her weird sort of catatonia, and the priest kind of took her home. And this morning, you're getting messages from, um, I'm going to say it's one of Samantha's friends that we met at the party. We'll say it's Cholula. She is sending group messages to you all that she just saw Linnea standing on the bridge, the old bridge, La Tristeza. So something's going on there. And you also have a new mystery presenting itself, which is Starlight Kingdom. Built upon a mountain mining settlement just outside of town, Starlight Kingdom was supposed to be the destination that put Deep Lake on the map. At least that was the hope of Paul Greco, the eccentric philanthropist who founded this bizarre amusement park, or who was trying to. Both a religious man and paranormal enthusiast, he believed that alien encounters were all divine visitations. He hoped, with the creation of this dazzling theme park, to inspire visitors with the glory of heaven on earth. The scope of the park was ambitious, with millions supposedly poured into early construction from anonymous donors, but the park never actually opened. After reports of internal disputes, Starlight Kingdom was abruptly shut down and fenced off just months before its planned opening. Rumors persisted about continued work on the park, but none proved fruitful, and Mr. Greco was never seen again. The promised Starlight Kingdom slowly crumbled over the years. However, in recent weeks, strange lights have begun to appear in the park at night. Visible just past the highway, they pulse and swarm in odd colors and patterns. Residents of Deep Lake who have seen the lights all seem to recall visiting Starlight Kingdom years ago, even though the park never actually opened. Maybe they finally fixed it up again, they say. But you know this just isn't true. As children growing up in a small town, you were over the moon at the prospect of having your own amusement park just down the road, and devastated when it failed to open. I'm going to pose the following question to Crystal. You saw these strange lights back when you were a kid in Deep Lake. Something about your experience then convinces you these lights are not of this world, and that Paul Greco might have been influenced by some kind of unknowable force. What is it?
I had been standing at the fence, staring at the kind of like construction and the sprawl of it all at the top of the hill. And when I saw the lights, I felt a time slip in which I was there for what I thought was 10 minutes, and it turns out it had been 6 hours later, and it was dark by the time I noticed the lights again.
I think that's great. I'm even going to add in to the story that Paul Greco often talked about it having such experiences as well. So there's clearly some kind of connection, right? And so you have your first question, which is, was the founder of the park, Mr. Greco, influenced by an alien intelligence or some kind of psychic anomaly? Like, basically, what are these lights? It's a complexity 4, and if you answer it, you unlock the next question. You also have a key here, which is the key of the neon lights. I'm going to go around the table and see what everyone's interested in doing. You can have a group nostalgic move, or a one-on-one nostalgic move, I suppose. If you have some conditions you need to clear, we could just have a scene seeing all the characters back in the house some days after the events of the previous night phase. Or we can begin or continue the various investigations. Tanya?
I got a
Oh,
idea for a little bit of an intro scene that's also a little bit of
hmm.
discussing in character some potential solution to the first Deep Lake Lurker question, if I may.
I love it. Yeah, frame it up for us.
All right. So remember, Santiago got locked in a freezer and he's been kind of recuperating. So he's like, even though it's a warm day, he's still like got his blanket wrapped around him. He's on the sofa bed in the living room, and he's like, "Oh man, I've had some time to think while I've been cuddled up here on the couch trying to stay warm." And he's like sipping his little cup of coffee from the Circle K, of course. He says, "Had some time to think. You guys know I like that Fangoria magazine. Like, scary movies are my thing. For a little while, I was curious, like, how do you write a scary story for kids? And I started looking at those Goosebumps books. You remember those Goosebumps? That got me thinking about the timing when little Jessica Stosky went missing at the Deep Lake. And if you look back at the publication dates of those early Goosebumps issues, Monster Blood came out in September of 1992. The timing is not a coincidence.
So you're saying
And
this is like that Chupacabra thing from the X-Files where Chupacabra didn't exist until that X-Files episode came out? Is that what you're...
I see your point, but more like a Jessica, she went to the library like all kids do. She went to the library and she
Uh-huh.
was the one who checked out all those Goosebumps books. And I think she might have gotten some ideas in her little head there. And it's not until after she goes missing, May 19, where is that? Sorry, July 1993, Goosebumps publishes Welcome to Camp Nightmare. I would like you to think about the timing of that also.
Out of character, is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
I just said it. I had a hypothetical on how to solve this, and I looked up what would correspond well,
I
and it
love this.
corresponds very nicely.
I feel like this level of research and preparation is what I wrote the nostalgic move for, and so congratulations on
Yep.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the release dates of the various Mad Balls and the collectability also was real. I searched that up too. So yeah, so I'm thinking about what we know about this Deep Lake lurker. Bubblegum may have driven off that monster. Human fingerbone. I posit to you that Jessica has transformed her interest in the occult, tied in with that Goosebumps book, led her to a transformation ritual, and that fingerbone, she probably has webbed like two-digit paws now, like a deep lake beaver. Um, and
Wait, wait, wait a second. Santiago, are you saying that not that she conjured the beast herself out of the depths of her own imagination, but that she actually performed a ritual and she is the Deep Lake Lurker?
that is exactly what I'm saying. Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
Crystal looks at Tanya.
Well, I have goosebumps, but I don't know if I believe in any of this.
I mean, let's zoom out a little bit and take a look at these clues, Santiago. I mean, so I guess you're kind of using the bubble gum, the finger bone. What else?
Glowing light under the water is probably evidence of the ritual, like those little you crack them glow sticks. If you're gonna do a ritual
Oh,
underwater,
sure,
you can't use a
yeah,
candle. You gotta
yeah.
have those glow sticks.
Love it. Perfect.
She's the one who bit that duck in half.
Wait. So what's the justification for her biting the duck in half?
She's transformed into a monster, and she tried
Oh,
to
so
take a bite out of me,
she
and she
became a
took a bite out of
So
monster.
that,
like
and then
full biting the head off the bat, right?
yeah,
Got
right,
it.
and then
Got it.
what's his face? The guy with the nunchucks, Hawk. Hawk
No.
found that half-bitten duck, or maybe he was trying to lure her to shore with the duck. I don't know, but Hawk's the one who put the duck in the freezer, is my theory.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. What about the pentagrams? Ritual.
Part of the occult rituals that
Very
she
good.
was crossing goosebumps with actual occult transformation rituals.
Plus one if everyone agrees to this theory.
Brian's rolling it.
Roll away, Santiago.
All right. What is that? 5'6". It's worth mentioning that I've been on the couch for a while and my brain is really cold.
This is
So
perfect.
here's the thing. The clues, because it's threshold question, the clues are an either or threshold question. The clues are used up, and the answer is that it's a monster. It's an actual beast. It's not Jessica Stosky. The clues are still available as like context for whatever the future investigation is, but that is the result.
That's such a good theory there.
It was pretty good, but you're going to discover that it is wrong. Also, I'm going to do a hard move on you as well, so a hard reaction, but at the time and place of my choosing on all of you or one of you. I don't know. Maybe the person who's the next victim. So let me grab the new question since it is technically answered just incorrectly. Okay,
I
so
mean, Crystal was avoiding the sheriff on this the whole thing anyway, so she hasn't been back to this camp once, and his sofa theory is about as good as we have.
if it's a horrid beast, where is the creature's lair? That is a complexity 4. And type that in. The opportunity is resolve the mystery by finding the bodies of the missing children. Then, if you wish, find a way to contain the lurker or destroy it. But to actually resolve the mystery, you just have to find the bodies. That's all. Bring some peace to Deep Lake. This is a complexity 4. And you are all settled there. Great. You can keep going with this nostalgic move scene, though. Clear conditions and find a clue.
Santiago,
Yep.
did you put something in your coffee?
Oh,
Like
the
maybe
circle.
something that'll warm you up? Is that Irished at all? Because that's the craziest shit I've heard all week.
It's I'm a mixologist. I was trying something a little different. This is kind of a little combination of mezcal and some dried grated peyote that I kind of rimmed the glass with a little bit of that and some tagine. Do you want to take a sip? It's it's pretty good for Circle K coffee, if I gotta say so myself.
I walk over with a with an old Walkman and those like headphones with the foam that's like the foam on the ear pieces or whatever, and it's yellowing and it's kind of like falling apart. But I just like walk up behind Santiago and put the headphones on him and press play on the Walkman, and you just hear everybody hurts sometimes.
Nice.
Fantastic. Does anyone want to make a case for clearing a condition in this scene?
I'm deliberately not because I'm keeping my final girl fantasies
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you're not allowed to clear that one anyway. Um,
Can I make the argument that this is so absurd that it's kind of derailed that whole like two Casey's thing for Tanya? Like, and now she's thinking about the Deep Lake Lurker. She had that experience with the Casey in the basement that was
mhm,
like very upsetting.
mhm.
And now, like, coming back to Santiago, and I use the Walkman, like that has kind of like pulled her back into being a little bit cynical and
Oh, I'm into
skeptical
it. Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah. I
things.
can add the cynicism. Yeah, that makes sense to me. You can clear it. Um, you also get, as a group, get to define a clue. If anyone has any thoughts on that, go ahead. But otherwise, just let me know at some point what clue you might discover in the scene, some particular insight. I will tell you that the reason why you know you're wrong is you will see a newspaper report. The body of Joey Keene turned up. Absolutely shredded, disemboweled, eaten. It doesn't necessarily disprove the idea that Jessica transformed into something, but that is not the that is not the like that's the stretch, right? This is much more likely to be just some kind of like beast or creature based off the violence of it. And maybe it's just the reality of that sinking in that makes Santiago's theory feel even more absurd and implausible. The sort of the grim fate of poor Joey Keene. So, any thoughts on that clue?
I like that one you put in the chat, Mike.
Yeah, so I'm pitching that there's maybe maybe after I put the headphones on Santiago's ears and he's listening to Everybody Hurts, I find a random Goosebumps book that's just like laying in the house and I toss it to him and I'm like, "Here's your Goosebumps." And he takes it and sees this is not in any of his research, this is not a Goosebumps book that was ever released. This is some kind of like strange Shazam uh
It's like that Candyland,
Mandela
right?
effect. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. So,
You know, they didn't publish an issue in June 1993. People have been looking for this, right?
I I don't know what you're talking about,
Point at the
Santiago.
cover. It says June 1993 here.
Yeah,
This was not.
I see that it's June 1993.
Tanya giving "I'm not a fucking loser" Santiago energy. I do like what someone put in the chat about it being a prehistoric crocodile. It's kind of interesting, like clue to go into
Some sort of
this.
lake monster seems
Yeah,
very goosebumpy, and it would
yeah,
be
yeah,
lovely if the deep lake echo was there.
yeah. I kind of like it. If you're all into that, you can have that as your clue. Um, for the new question. Well, let's keep going. So, um, Crystal, what do you want to do today?
I am gonna go stare at a defunct theme park. Although I don't know if it's technically defunct if it never opened, but it does seem to be in question. And
Hmm.
I want to go investigate all of that because I know for a fact it didn't open and I'm curious.
Little trip out of town into the desert. Okay, sounds good. What about you, Santiago?
Oh man, I feel like I'm just gonna get bitten wherever I go. Um, I feel like I'm a little detached from the slumber party one since I wasn't here when y'all kicked that thing off. So I think I will continue pursuing the Deep Lake Lurker. Um, I feel like it's got to be a trip to the library here to find out a little more about prehistoric crocodiles and what in this region would have had such teeth.
I know that the fucking Deep Lake Library is like the curse of my existence, like the bane of my existence. But I'm here for it. It's fine.
I don't have to go there.
Go there. It's fine. Um,
I could instead go to like some weird dentist office to ask questions about teeth
no,
because
no,
that's
no.
kind of fun too.
The library. Have we been to the library yet? Have you met Lupe yet?
I don't think so.
Mike says you're muted, Mike. We can hear you.
There's the bar called the
Oh,
library.
that's right. That's right. But you haven't actually been to the library yet. Okay, fantastic. Um, okay, well, so Tanya, what are you going to do? I mean, I know that like Dash was kind of a little more focused on Slumber Party, but there is this weird situation of like Linnea wandering around town. I don't know, but I don't know. What do you want to do?
Um, I did not like the slumber party as Tanya. I think that Crystal and Linnea are up to something. I don't believe any of that bullshit whatsoever. And partly, like, that is cognitive dissonance because I had a supernatural experience during it. Um, so, but uh, I used to go listen to tapes on the sound system on one of the rides at Starlight Kingdom. That was a place where like burnouts would go hang out because you had speakers everywhere. It was
Because it
very
was still
cool.
wired up and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So I'm gonna head up there. Serrano Sisters.
All right, sounds good. So Tanya, Crystal, heading to Starlight Kingdom, Santiago, going to the library. We'll start with you, Santiago. When you get to the library is like a lot of the sort of like old town buildings in Deep Lake is a sort of squat adobe building, right? It's pretty small. It really looks more like a small town tourist center than an actual library. There is a ground floor with a couple of long tables, and then there's an upstairs with just a single row of books up there. And there also is like a little back, like media area. When you get there, there is a woman in her late 30s, kind of short, wearing uh she almost like looks like she's dressed for the part of to be in a building like this. She has like turquoise jewelry on and um that kind of thing. And she says, "Hi there."
Say hello. Uh, I'm Santiago, and you know, haven't really been to this library since I was a kid, but I remember there were some good books on dinosaurs, and I kind of wanted to check out like some stuff about teeth and
Oh,
teeth
sure, sure,
patterns.
sure. They found lots of fossils and stuff out here in the desert over the years. So what's this all about? I can help you find those books.
Oh, just it's a desert town. You don't expect to have a lot of aquatic reptiles, but I'm curious about the history of Deep Lake, and if you went back long enough, would there have been things with teeth that swam that might lurk?
This is about the deep lake lurker, isn't it?
Indeed, it is. And then I said, look at my hip. I actually got bit.
Oh, she's like, well, you don't need to expose yourself right now in the library, but I I believe you, and I want to help you. I have to ask though, are you part of that group of kids who's here in town making a TV show?
Kind of look around. Uh, we we try to keep that on the down low, but do you have some information I should know?
Uh, we'll go ahead and make the meddling move with presents.
Oh, what a seven. Do I have any bonuses? I don't remember. What's my presence? Nope, just a seven.
Unless you have something maybe in your corner of the house. It's all pretty unused right now.
True, true. Do I have to call that before I make the dice roll or
You
no?
do indeed.
All right. Well, I already rolled a seven, so there we
Mm.
go.
Oh, you rolled already. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, fantastic. We'll come back to the scene in a moment. I'd like to have the scene with you, the two of you in the car. I'd like to know who's driving, and um, let's just have the scene as you're kind of driving out. It's a bright, clear sky, hot ass desert day, summer in New Mexico.
I've got the seat leaned back and my feet like 1 foot hanging out the front window.
Yeah, Crystal's driving and Tanya's DJ. Shotgun. Love it.
What are you
It's one of
playing
those
right now,
tape.
Tanya?
It's one of those tape things that like connects to the CD player.
Mhm.
That's in the tape deck. What am I playing right now? Um, that's a really good question. I think we're listening to John Spencer Blues Explosion. Um, yeah.
I think it's a quiet couple of moments in the drive where we've just like settled in and Crystal will slowly turn the wheel and hit the I don't know what they're called, but the vibration causing so if you're asleep at the wheel and you go over the lines, it vibrates
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
your
yeah.
car,
Those little
keep you
like
awake.
bumps on the road. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. I think that Crystal's deliberately doing it to make the CD skip. So she's remixing as we're going down the road.
Cars
Just
nowadays they
keeping.
do it internally, like mine does. It
Hmm.
like goes a little if we like go over the line. It's always very like a.
So you went out here as a kid?
Yeah, yeah. Um, it was, people would just come up here and play music, hang out. I don't know, a lot of weird ones, but there were a few of us that were normal.
Babe, I don't think you could be described normal on any part of this planet, but if that's what you want to tell yourself, that's fine.
You haven't seen the people who hung out at Starlight Kingdom.
It's very fair. I did not. I had a
They
weird
might still be around.
bitch. I'm trying to tell you about a traumatic thing that just happened. What? Listen.
Yeah, where
I
did you go? We need to unpack this a little bit.
Why are there basements in New Mexico? Right? Like why? Because I don't remember Starlight Kingdom ever opening, but everybody else seems to have a childhood memory of there except for us. And I saw some spooky things there, and I had a moment in which like time disappeared and I never went back because I was like 12 and he was always going on about the lights and I saw them one night and then like you didn't have any weird. experiences? You hung out there all the time and you didn't see anything?
Other than the total burnouts and losers that were up there, nothing strange. But maybe they just distracted from it.
Yeah, they were losing time already, but more self-induced, I suppose.
It's one way to put it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, you're kind of into Casey, right? Is that's still happening?
No, no.
Which
And
Casey?
which Casey?
Well, I would imagine that would be a perk and not a hindrance, but whatever.
My two Caseys.
No, I've ditched
All
those.
right, well, it just seems like you and he were staring at that television in the basement, you were saying? Like you just like lost time there and then there's that other thing in the other basement. And I'm just like, why are basements something that we are misremembering from our childhood too?
I maybe I don't know why you would need to dig below the frost line in New Mexico. Um, but apparently people did.
We should
That
maybe,
and that show, it wasn't about, I just want to make this clear. Like that was not about Casey. That was not about spending time with Casey. That was not about being near him in any kind of way. It was
oh,
fucking Happy Jack.
oh, I completely misread that. Happy Jack.
Happy Jack was the point of that story, Crystal.
I think as
Okay,
you're having this
okay.
conversation, Crystal, you'll notice in the rearview mirror, there's been this big, 18 wheeler kind of following you. I mean, just not like unusually, it's just behind you. And it's getting really close to you. Like, very close. Like, if you had to hit your brakes really fast, it wouldn't have time to stop before hitting you close. Definitely breaking the two cars rule between fender to bumper. What do you do?
I think he wants to pass, and I make sure that there's no oncoming traffic, and I pull over so he can rip right by me. Flash him, Tanya. He'll honk.
I pull
It
my feet back into the car at this point, like seeing that things are moving around, and I have some childhood trauma with cars pulling to the side. Yeah,
the 18 wheeler does begin to pull around you. You can hear it kind of like you even from inside your car, you can hear it like, going into a higher gear, like as it sort of like is passing you, but then it doesn't pass you. It's now hanging out in the oncoming lane, and you are sort of half pushed over in your lane, and now it's coming into your lane. It's going to run you off the road. What do you do?
I break.
This is going to be the day move. You're going to be at disadvantage because of the next victim. I want to know what you're afraid is going to happen right now if you fail.
Tanya's gonna have more car death trauma, I guess. Like I'm in the driver's side and the truck is coming at me, so I'm the one that's gonna get
Oh, yeah.
squished.
This is
and
going to be with.
regardless of if Crystal has it on or not, I'm just yelling, "Seatbelt, seatbelt, seatbelt!"
Let's get dice on the table. Make a composure roll.
I guess this will determine whether or not she's wearing her seatbelt. Okay, well that's an 8.
That's a
Uh,
disadvantage as well.
oh, disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, for the final. Yep.
Roll a third die.
Okay, that's a 5.
Ah,
And
indeed.
so that's a 6 total.
We'll come back to this.
Hmm.
Santiago, Lupe is kind of like helping you with, with books, and she, you're there's lots of books about like fossils and fossil records and that kind of thing. Protozoa, Jurassic, all that nonsense. I don't know anything about dinosaurs, and she says she will kind of say to you, she'll say, you know, those stories about the Deep Lake Lurker, they go way, way back, way before even those kids started disappearing in the 90s.
Indeed. How far back?
I mean, I remember those stories when I was a kid, and I think I remember my grandmother talking about those stories. It used to be that whatever's out there, supposedly, whatever's out there used to actually lure you in. Yeah, it used to, they would say it would make like, it could make like sounds, like it was a person drowning.
I'm gonna pop my bubblicious gum, like blow a bubble.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, I I remember one time I actually heard like a woman like wailing, like she was, I mean, it was just wailing. There were no words. It was almost like she was trying to speak words, trying to like yell words, but she couldn't form them. And so it was just wailing sound. And I remember my grandmother stopping me, saying, "No, don't go. There's nothing there. Just ignore it." And later I heard the tales from the old people that, yeah, that it like imitates someone in danger.
Oh, the old play on our heartstrings.
Yeah, it's like
Lure
how
us in.
cats learn how to, over time, they taught themselves how to sound vaguely like babies, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that connects. That's kind of, I was just swimming, but that's kind of how it got me. I'm lucky I got away, truthfully.
You heard it too?
Uh, well, my ears were mostly underwater. I was kind of working on my strokes, and
Hmm.
uh, I haven't really heard that noise so much, but I can see where that sort of siren call lures a person in.
You can show me the injury on your butt now if you want. There's no one around, and I'm curious.
All right, I'll you know, undo my trousers and
She's like, well, that's why I don't go by the lake anymore.
yeah. It does seem that this sounds strange, but it sounds like it's repelled by bubble gum. So
I don't
just might
think
want to.
that's right.
It bit a hole through my trunks, and it was the pack of bubble gum that saved me. Honestly,
You have jumped to the conclusion that it was the bubble gum specifically. It couldn't have been just anything in your pocket.
I see your point there, but let's get back to the books. Do you have anything that shows like dentition patterns that might match this? That
Indeed, she will continue helping you with things. We'll come back to the scene in a moment. I'm not done yet. Crystal, by the time you realize what's happening, it's too late. A quick turn of the wheel by the driver of the 18 wheeler, and you are flying off the side of the road. You are spinning. Tanya, what is this like for you as you realize what's happening?
I think this is giving me flashbacks, and I'm not concerned about my safety because I've been through this. This is old hat for me, but I am just imagining Crystal being flung out of the windshield and becoming, yeah, more decoration for the New Mexico roadside.
The last thing you see, Crystal, as you were smashed into, is the sign on the side of the truck, a brand called Del Toro with a bull head. And by
I
the
would
time
love to
turn a
mark
key.
my Sansone arch at this moment.
Indeed, indeed. I think instead you just run off the side of the road. You do get run off the
Sure.
side of the road, but you're okay. I think you're both a little bruised up. Take that as a condition, please. A little banged up and bruised, but you're okay. Let's just have the moment when as you're kind of catching your breath, like what the fuck, and you see that truck continuing on.
Fuck Del Toro. What the hell? Are you? I gotta get out. I gotta get out of the car. Hang on. Oh, are you okay?
Are we stopped? We're stopped at this point, right?
You're in
I'm
the ditch.
already Yeah, I'm already out of the car. Like Crystal is probably talking, thinking that I'm in the car. I'm already like 20 feet, 30 feet in front, and I'm just yelling at the truck. And I'm like, what the actual fuck?
I look up and see that she's already outside and kind of kind of fight to get my seatbelt off and undone. And did you get flung out? Are you
Come
okay?
back here, you shitheads!
I think Crystal is just shaking from the adrenaline, watching Tanya completely unhinged.
And yeah, like I probably I still have the CD player. Like I just like ripped that off of the the deck thing is the adapter is still in the deck. And I just like throw the CD player like off into the desert, and it kind of like punk punk and opens up, and the CD like pops out, and yeah.
Tanya, Tanya, hey.
And I'm just like now I'm just like pacing back and forth and just like kicking dirt everywhere.
Crystal fishes out a clove cigarette and just lights up watching you pace in the desert, working through all that nervous energy.
At some point, not too much longer, I just take a deep breath, and like I'm just normal, and like I'm just like walking over and I'm just like, so what the fuck was that about?
What the fuck was that about? What the fuck was that about? Are you're good? Got it all out
Uh
of your system?
yeah, I'm fine. I'm always fine. It's fine.
Well, nothing's broken, but you're gonna have to help me get this. Oh, fuck. Both tires out of the ditch.
The tires
Feeling
are off
strong,
the
girl?
car.
What?
The tires are off the car. What's going on?
No, I mean, both tires are sunk into the ditch, and we're gonna have to try and get it back up onto the road.
Oh, okay. Okay. I've been in situations where cars fall apart before.
What? Fall apart like distant? What? No, you just have to give me a push. I'll put
Yeah,
it in
yeah.
neutral. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's fine. Just yeah, we're fine.
We're absolutely fine.
I love it. Santiago, the librarian, her name's Lupe.
Mhm.
She says, I'm actually about to close up for an hour. It's about to be my lunch break. Um, you're welcome to stay in here, though. I'm going to be just in the back, eating eating some leftovers. And she like locks the door, you know.
Does the open to closed
Oh
sign?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
flips the little
yeah,
sign. Yeah,
yeah.
we'll return at hour. She says, actually, if you're interested in kind of strange things that happen in Degoya County, I I have something back here that you might like to see.
Oh, by all means, this is my bread and butter.
Okay, and she ushers you back.
Yeah.
Let's take a 5-minute break.
All righty.
Crystal and Tanya, I will say, Tanya, maybe while you're mostly watching Crystal try to deal with the car situation, you'll notice that you actually did get run off the road near a like just a little ways up the road. There's a little kind of like roadside restaurant slash gas station. It's been converted though from like a gas station to be something new. Excuse me. Fifth Dimension Holistic Beverages and Supplies. So there is something here. um, you might even see a couple of like people pulling out of there. Maybe even people who are headed to this. There's a lot of people who are like kind of coming into town to like look into this Starlight Kingdom situation. It's become kind of like a little sensation, I'd say. You want to go check that out, or are you just gonna wait for Crystal?
Um, yeah, actually, I think it's kind of like funny and fitting in the moment, as well as our character dynamic, as well as you have put put the carrot
Oh
on the
yeah,
stick.
yeah.
So yeah, like Crystal's trying to pull out and like just sees Tanya like walking off into not the sunset, but yeah, to the
Yeah,
fifth
it's just
dimension.
just a little
No,
ways
you
down the
are
road.
walking off into the sunset because the side of the building has been painted and or chopped.
Yeah.
There's a mural
Perfect
of a
shot.
sunset. Yeah, it's good. I love it. It's really good. Crystal, what do you do?
I will swear and then kind of start rocking the car to get back up on the road and pull up ahead and park because maybe I could use a cold drink.
Mhm.
And I'm not that oblivious. At some point, I do like lean over my shoulder and I do have to yell with the distance. And I'm like, we can get help over here.
As Crystal literally pulls the car into the parking lot. Fifth Dimension Holistic Beverages and Supplies is a repurposed roadside diner out here in the middle of the desert. It does have this like rainbow mural. As you get closer, it's actually like a sunset, but also depicts glowing starships, crystals, a circle of people holding hands. Inside, there is a dizzying chalkboard menu listing dozens of juice bar concoctions alongside other New Age services such as star chart oracles, psychic vampire defense classes, and desert moon vision walks. There are aggressively cheerful affirmation signs, crystal ornaments, and alien themed decorations cluttering every available surface. Let's paint the scene, everyone. What pretentious beverage name catches our attention, and what dubious health claims are associated with it?
There's the Dreams and Mirages grass shot glass. I can say that. It's just a little tiny shot, pure freshly blended wheatgrass, and it will clear your innards back to the state of your birth. It will bring you back to a childlike innocence where the earth has not polluted your form.
The mothership. It is an iced beverage that looks like something of a Long Island iced tea. Like it just looks like a beverage, but they have put a mother from an apple cider vinegar over the top of it. There's no straw. You're supposed to sip at it slowly, drinking it until it's all dissolved.
Repellent.
Sorry, I'm watching Brian melt down. Anyway, it's supposedly really good for your biome and your health guts, but also it makes it very unpalatable for most supernatural creatures because you won't be very tasty afterwards.
There is one called the Alpha Primer. It says the Alpha Primer, the Measle Weasel, loaded with vitamin A, cantaloupe, mango, legumes, um, Yeah, and it's a perfect thing if you have not received your measles vaccination, apparently.
Perfect. Yeah, good. Go tell RFK. Okay, so love it. So what do the two of you do? You walk in. I think you see there's a young woman who's working there with a unicorn fringe haircut, tie dye overalls, copper and gemstone jewelry. Very like cheerful uh, as you walk in. Welcome to Fifth Dimension.
Can I pitch that I recognize her from the Starlight Kingdom crew?
Oh, I like that very much. Like, remind us what was the deal there? Like you
It
used to
was
go out
just
and
like um
Wastoids.
um the Wastoids would like hang out in the wreck of Starlight Kingdom before it became like a cool tourist attraction. And it's probably
oh
like the reason that this is like uh what's that called? Like rogue tourist
oh, that's
urban
good.
exploration kind of place is like it's all of these kids like who grew up hanging out in this place who want to go back and
I
kind
love
of
it.
like relive
It's
the
great.
memories.
She says,
Um,
"Oh my goodness, Tanya Oakes.
what's her name?
You knew her as you knew her as Beulah."
And I go, oh no, it's Beulah. And I'm like whispering to
And Chris,
Crystal.
Do you recognize me?
uh, um, yeah. Beulah, right? Right?
Uh, that's my terrestrial name. I have chosen a celestial name for myself, which is Crystal Starseed.
I always knew that you were too far above this terrestrial
Oh
existence.
my God, girl, get over here. Let's mingle our auras. Come here.
And hey, this is my friend Crystal. It's like
Oh
we've
my
got two
gosh. Two
crystals,
crystals. That's got to be good luck,
twice the
right?
crystals.
no, no, no. Crystal had peeled off good luck, is what she said. Is she peeled off to go browse. This
Wherever
is
she
definite
is,
Crystal's shit, but now she's shopping and has completely abandoned you.
wherever she is, there are celestial seasonings everywhere in this place. And I am not convincing at all that I am like into this, but maybe for her I am. But like for Crystal, it's like, what?
Crystal Starseed
Yeah.
comes around and
Uh,
she's like, yeah, come here. And she doesn't go in for a hug. She like moves her hands like close to you and she like feels around the perimeter of your face and your body within a few inches. She's like, oh my gosh. Did something just happen to you?
Uh, yeah, things happen to
Are
me a
you
lot.
okay?
I'm fine. You should check.
I'm getting the
Where?
sense that you were like very recently in danger. Like your aura is really, really all over the place right now.
Yeah, I mean, aren't most of us in danger all the time? This feels like the Barnum effect thing.
Tanya Oakes, listen to me. Tell me what's going on. It's not an
Well,
accident that you walked in here right now.
I mean, it is an accident, kind of literally. You know that Del Toro brand that we used to love as kids. You and I would what was that? What was that thing that Del Toro made? We would always like snack on that. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Del Toro Foods, right? Yeah,
It
it's
had
a
that
local company. Got
bull
it.
on
The
it, and
bull,
it
right?
was
Yeah.
yeah.
But
And
what
we would
about it?
just like hang out, and we would just listen to the Beatles, right? Like up at the Kingdom.
Oh wait, are you headed up? Are you headed up to the kingdom right now?
Of course, I'm headed up to the Kingdom. It's been
Have you been hearing about these
decades.
lights?
I haven't heard about the lights. Or I did hear about the lights. I haven't seen the lights. I have you seen the lights?
Oh yeah, I've seen the lights. I've seen the
There
light and the lights.
there weren't
Crystal will
lights
come up.
back in the day, right?
I mean, people talked, you know. I mean, everyone said that old Mr. Greco was like up there communing with aliens or whatever, or maybe Jesus. I don't know, reborn as an alien. Uh,
Krista will come around the corner with a basket full of rocks and other trinkets, and then is literally looking in her wallet to see how much cash she brought. I've seen the
oh,
light.
I
Oh,
see. We
Crystal,
have
this
a.
is Crystal. She's another desert mystic.
A
Namaste.
pleasure. A pleasure. Please don't read my aura. It's very invasive.
Yeah, of course. Well, we've just met, so
Thank you. It
maybe
was
we could have
shocking
a
earlier.
cleansing of the way between us.
I uh I could use actually some I apologize. That was very aggressive. My energy is off. We were just in a terrible near accident on the
Oh,
road.
okay, okay, Tanya. So you were just about run off the road? That's what I'm sensing here.
It happens.
Oh,
Is it really that unusual?
Crystal, you have to understand, she screams and shouts. She doesn't have the self-awareness.
I can tell you
I mean,
both.
it's appreciated, I'm sure, but
I can tell you both need a mellow yellow right now. And she goes to her blender and begins making a smoothie. What are the two of you doing while she's doing this?
She knows about the lights.
you used to hang out with her at the Kingdom.
Yeah, we called it the
I wonder if
Kingdom.
she thinks it ever opened.
Good question. She should know
Hey,
that it didn't.
Crystal. Crystal?
1 second. I'm
Well, I
manifesting
still,
good vibes in this one.
well, maybe we should ask if she ever, like, do you think? Maybe she'll come up there with us?
I do we I don't want to spend that much time with her. Like as
Fine.
she walks up.
We'll come back to the scene in a moment. Santiago, Lupe takes you to a little small room, like a little media room, kind of. It has like those sort of like horrible orange plastic elementary school chairs, that kind of stack, and tables with wheels. And there's a microfiche machine. Remember those? She says,
Indeed.
"So, if you really want to know about the weird history of Degoya County, you got to go to the newspapers, man." And she kind of clicks off the lights, and there's this kind of warm yellow glow of the microfiche. She sets you both down, and she's kind of running through it.
Mhm.
She says, Degoya County has had a lot of strange things happen over the years. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. But the thing that really, really interests me, and that I think, well, a lot of times it's not just weird sightings. It's not just like these lights that people are talking about in the mountains right now. It's it's often death, really, really terrible death on a mass scale. And I don't want to bring down the energy here, but well, like right here. Christmas Day 1962.
We'll get in close and look in the viewer.
Every person on every home on Murphy Street in Rio Canyon, that's the little town just a few miles down the road, every person in every home on this one street in Rio Canyon disappears without a trace. Over 250 people. 250 people. Now, we don't know that they're dead, but they never turned back up. No bags were packed, no cars were missing, and it says here, in some cases, Christmas dinner is still in the oven. Only one person was accounted for, little Tommy Vallejo, who police found carefully unwrapping his presents near his family's Christmas tree. Pretty strange, right? What happens to 250 people?
And what happened to Tommy Vallejo?
Well, we'd have to. Well, I don't know if there's going to be a newspaper article about that.
Mhm.
Here's another one. 1986. The La Fresca Senior High, La Fresca, you know La Fresca. The La Fresca Senior High prom ends abruptly when a fire breaks out mid dance in the school's gymnasium. I remember this actually. This was a big story at the time. Over 100 students and teachers lose their lives. How about this? Not all the victims die of burns or smoke inhalation. Several die from blunt force trauma, two from wounds that suggest an animal attack, and one is decapitated in a fire. You might remember that as well,
Yeah,
Santiago. It was a big
that
story at the time.
yeah, a town this size, like that's a remarkable fatality rate, and it's almost equally peculiar that we keep bouncing back somehow. Like, why isn't this place deserted completely?
Well, I mean, La Fresca is a pretty big town, right? I mean, they have a Walmart, so. But okay, here's one. I remember this one very, very well because, well, we'll just set that aside for now. March
Uh,
13th, 1997. 19 students, again at La Fresca Senior High School, climbed to the top of the four-story school building. They got that detail wrong. It was actually only three stories. They recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and then they all jump in unison,
now
plunging
here's
to
one.
their
I got a
deaths.
question. How do they know they recited that if everyone jumped?
Um,
You were there, weren't you?
I talked to the reporter afterwards. Yeah,
Were you
I
the
was
only
there.
survivor?
Maybe we don't talk about it. How about that?
I kind of gently put my hand on her hand where she's got the controls of the microfiche. I'll say, is there more?
I was um, I was their teacher. I
Oh,
tried to stop them. I've actually kind of wondered why no one has ever looked into this any more deeply. And I don't know. Maybe it's something that would be of interest for your documentary.
yeah, this is time. This time. I mean, at the least, I'm going to need a library card. I'm going to need to come back here more often.
Well, that's what I meant to say. I mean, this is a great resource, right? I mean, if you are looking into the weird history of this town for your TV show or whatever it is, or is it a movie? Is it a show? Anyway, this is it. I mean, this is like the gold mine, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, just happens I got a bottle of pretty good mezcal here in my pocket. Do you have a couple of cups I could pour us
I
a little
love
something? We can keep going through this.
I love mezcal. Love it. Smoky flavor. Great. So good. And we'll just end the scene there.
Excellent. I'm laughing at what Mike wrote in chat.
Oh. All right. Let's keep going here. Well, Crystal, Tanya, what is the plan with Crystal Starseed? For you asking her questions or something?
Um, as she walks up and I'm in the middle of saying like I don't want to spend that much time with her
But I can check out now that
because
this is
her celestial energy is off the charts and I don't know that my terrestrial being can take it anymore.
but I can check out with the rest of this if you're ready.
She says, um, yeah, yeah, of course, of course. What do you think of that moon glow, huh? You feeling more chill, more relaxed? I can already tell that your aura is becoming a little more, well, less of like a, less of like a, a VHS machine that's tracking us off, and more like a beautiful, warm tanning bed glow.
I
Yeah.
am settling back down into an excellent violet, but I think it's also the cold drink helps because
There's
I was
peyote in
feeling
it.
hot. Oh, excellent. I will feel glowier by the moment then.
Sorry, oh, that's okay.
It
It's
would have been
actually
nice.
it's actually legal in New Mexico, I think. Yeah.
I mean, Crystal continues to drink her smoothie and pay the nice lady for a bunch of new like tchotchkes and stones and fun little
Indeed.
trinkets.
You could add to your corner of the house fifth dimension trinkets.
Thank you.
Hey, Crystal Starseed, not Pepper Serrano. Do y- what do you remember about Starlight Kingdom being open?
Make a meddling move with presence.
All right. Bad. 4.
4. She says, uh, what do I remember about Starlight Kingdom being open? Well, I mean, that's where you and I met, obviously. We both
Yeah.
worked there that one summer.
I didn't work there.
You definitely worked. Yeah, you did. Yeah, we were the Kingdom crew, remember? It was you, me, Casey.
And Tanya has been, since she's come back, has been remembering things. She always remembered the accident, but there's all kinds of things that she didn't remember that she's starting to remember. And so she's questioning herself here.
Well, you would have been a little kid. You wouldn't have been old enough to have a job at an
True,
amusement park.
but she is questioning herself. Like the insistence here is making her question whether a wizard came with time travel and adjust, like anything is on the table. And so she's trying to figure this out and just kind of like is starting to like
I mean, don't
wander
you
off.
remember? That was like that was like a really fun summer. I mean, it was like one of the most fun summers of my life. That's why I opened up this shop because I don't know, I kind of never wanted to leave Starlight Kingdom. It was a real bummer when they finally closed it down.
Do you, other
Yeah, and
than
when was that?
Oh gosh, what year was that when they closed it down? I mean, it's been a while now, I guess. I mean, it was after I was already out of high school, but I mean, Tanya, you remember that was that was when you and I, were in a sapphic situation. It was my first.
do you remember
I mean, it wasn't my
listening?
first. I slept with lots of guys back then, but you were the first girl.
Do you remember listening to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds at that like roller coaster thing?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I just remember that we, you know, sort of had a little moment on the merry-go-round.
Yeah,
Not the merry-go-round. What's the big wheel
I
one called? Is that the merry-go-round? What is that?
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. Yeah.
I don't want to be toxic here, Crystal, but I don't remember that. And that may just be me, not you.
This crystal is backing away from the awkwardness of this possible lovers or alternate reality and just backing up outside.
Indeed, indeed. What are you doing right now, Santiago, after Lupe kind of shows you this stuff? She's about done with her break, so she's going to open back up.
All right. If I recall right, back in my initial investigative role here or whatever, I had a 7. Does that net a clue of any sort or no?
The clue was the wailing
Oh, the
sounds,
wailing's the clue.
yeah,
Okay, got
that
it.
the
All right.
creature makes, yeah,
All right. Creature makes
to
wailing
lure its
sounds.
victims.
Um, and so then I kind of think what I want to do is depart here, head to a Circle K, and get myself a fishing license because I think I'm gonna find that useful here.
I think so. Yeah, it's good. I like the
So
idea of like you can definitely add that to your, or if that's how the move works, you can
that's
add
it.
it to
That
your.
is the move. Exactly. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
exploit that. Yeah.
I do like the
So
idea of the Circle K issues fishing licenses as well.
no, they do. They actually do.
Oh, do they really? Okay, great.
Right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, you get them at Walmart, so why not Circle K?
Yeah. So I'll say,
Um,
Lupe, I appreciate all the help. I'll if you find any books on like dentition patterns, let me know, and I'll give her my phone number so you can get hold of
mhm,
me.
yeah.
So it's been a delight sharing a little time with you, doing some investigation into the.
Yeah, if you ever decide you want to look into the case of those kids that, well, the Pledge of Allegiance kids, let me know.
Yeah, I will. It's next on the docket. We just gotta solve one mystery at a time in this town. Um,
They
but
just keep on coming.
yeah, I'm gonna swim by the Circle K. You want me to pick you up anything?
Yeah. And she says, how about a tall Slurpee?
All right. Which flavors do you do? Not the suicide.
Surprise
No.
me.
All right.
They have that new one, that like green one, the Halo.
Oh yeah, that's worth it. Kind of has that lemon lime fizz.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go get a lemon lime fizz and a fishing license.
Sounds good. Well, what's going on with this awkward encounter with Crystal Starseed, Tanya?
I think like I'm like Crystal, my Crystal. I mean my current contemporary Crystal, not my.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Did I? Oh, I didn't. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize the two of you were. Oh, that's weird. That's awkward. Totally
Can
awkward. Sorry.
Crystal, give me a second with Crystal
We
here,
really
and
need to have a cleansing of the
I,
way right now, I think.
and like I just kind of like I sort of like push Crystal Serrano kind of like back, and I'm just like, listen, and essentially like explaining. Tanya is explaining to her what I was just like reflecting in my head in the previous segment that we had of just kind of like I am just saying like, listen, there is all kinds of shit that I'm remembering. I do not remember this. Like I do not know what this is, but it's entirely possible that this is what she is saying is real, but like this does not exist for me.
I think your crystal, this crystal, is going to have too much fun with this situation and start pantomiming how frustrated and pointing and acting the part of the jealous lover just to make this more awkward for you right now.
Stop
And
that.
I'm going to use it
Stop.
as,
Crystal, I am being very vulnerable with you right now, and you are just
and I'm
making a
using
mockery
this
of
as
it.
a distraction so we can just storm out the door and I can get you away and out of this
And
situation.
I am genuinely like, Tanya is known for her composure, but is genuinely frustrated. And so you are just, yeah, like I feel like just like egging that on as you are also pantomiming it. And yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, yeah,
So what, you
that's
don't
fair.
want her to come to Starlight Kingdom with us now? 5
Wait in
minutes
the
ago, you
car.
were all about it.
Wait in the car. We can talk about this out there, okay? Just wait in the car.
She like has a crystal that and she's like chanting to try to like clear the energy here in the space.
If Tanya leaves, Crystal will go back to Crystal and say, "Look, I'm very sorry that we brought
Oh
this
no, it's
to
okay.
your place
It's
of
okay.
business. It's not been a great day. Obviously, we're still really traumatized
I need to
from
chant.
that Del Toro. truck nearly running us off the road.
Amrang, ting ting tang, amrang. Oh, she's just making up sounds.
I appreciate that, but we're gonna go. I hope you have a lovely day. Namaste. Just leave.
Indeed, you can get back out into the parking lot. Uh,
Tanya, listen, I know, like, I'll get back in the car and slam the door. I'm like, Tanya, I'm sorry. I was just trying to create a social situation in which we could leave. What is going on right now?
well,
You're freaking me out.
I want to interject here and just ask you, Tanya. I think you're going to get a condition from this, but I'd like to know how you're
Mhm,
feeling right now.
mhm.
Um, Confused. Um, yeah, I mean, like I've said, like Tanya is questioning whether her idea of reality is real in any way. I think as Crystal pops into the car, even like I have Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is like playing. And yeah, like I'm trying to like evoke that memory. And it's also, yeah, this very like psychedelic song. And so like trying to use that to like summon up whatever this memory that Crystal Starseed is talking about. Um, yeah.
I will tell you that you see standing over by the payphone on the corner of the building. You see the big man in his yellow suit. Must be very, very hot.
And I think that calms Tanya down.
Oh,
I think she just kind of like, give me a minute. And I step out of the car and walk to the big man.
hmm. Crystal, you see the big man as well. This is not just a
Okay,
Tanya
good.
thing. What are you
Good.
doing? Yeah. You've never actually seen him though, right?
No, I have no idea why Tanya wants to talk to this
Talk to this
man.
man. Yeah.
She just literally ghosted, like she just she'd been freaking out. She got eerily quiet and she went to go talk to this guy in a yellow suit. I'm going to keep an eye on the situation, but I'm just playing with my trinkets in the front seat and I have the car running.
As you're watching them have their conversation, which we will have in a moment, this is a gas station as well. And that Del Toro 18 wheeler pulls in. Santiago, you're headed to the lake.
I was getting a fishing license. Didn't say I was heading straight to the lake yet.
Okay, well, you got your fishing
No, no.
license. Now what?
Um, I think what I do want to do is see about like a hunting store. Like I don't know the rod and reel is quite what I need here. I think I need something more like a crossbow.
To hunt the deep lake lurker?
Just in case. Like I'm,
You'll
I'm
have to go
gonna
to La
go
Fresca
searching
for
for it,
that.
but I want something a little heavier firepower here.
You'll have
Uh,
to go to La Fresca for that.
the Fresca. Ooh, all right. I don't even remember what vehicle I have. It's been too long.
We established you all have a car at least,
A
so
car?
yeah,
Okay.
because you would have all driven here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. How far away is La Fresca? I can't remember.
Oh, like 20 minutes.
Okay, not bad. Uh, I kind of think, yeah, I want to go shopping for something offensive.
Yeah, I like that. You'll be able to do that with no trouble. I think it'll probably take up the rest of your day phase, but you can add to your corner of the house a crossbow.
Excellent. The lurker won't get to bite me twice.
Indeed not. I want to wrap up a little bit here with Crystal and Tanya. The big man takes a drag on his cigarette. He he looks kind of bad since you saw him last. He his skin is very like puffy, even more than normal, and kind of sagging. You think for maybe even a moment you might see a little bit of his cheekbone exposed from the eyelid, but maybe that's just trick of the light. And he looks a little thinner as well. His teeth are slimy and yellow. And oddly, as he speaks, his voice, it's like he's a little bit to the left of where his voice seems like it's coming from. How are those tapes going? Have you figured out what happened to that TV station yet?
Not yet. It seems like it's bigger than the TV station, though.
You know, it's possible you're looking at those tapes in the wrong way. You think you're looking for clues about what happened in the past, but those tapes, they might be just as good at predicting the future. They're a little bit like tarot cards in that way. The characters on the tapes are like icons, archetypes, if you will. Except if the tarot tells the story of humanity's journey to enlightenment, the tapes tell the story of humanity's inevitable regression. And don't you mistake it. Humanity is always trying to return to that primal place, that ancient and evil state. Past is prologue and all that. Or put another way, let's rewind and not be kind.
So you're saying this is a let me put it this way, like a who covered whom situation? Like the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is their song, right? But then you've got Elton John doing his own version of it, and William Shatner. And you're saying maybe the original is the opposite way?
I was down in Austin once. They have a costume shop called Lucy in Disguise. I thought that was pretty clever.
It's a good pun.
I love a pun.
I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all
You should
right.
learn to lighten up a little bit.
Oh, and on that note, then she pulls out a cigarette and um, yeah, how about a light? It's been a day.
Certainly. And he takes out a lighter that has, it's a Zippo with an etching of the moon, a crescent moon on it.
Hmm.
He lights it. Before you go, do you have the Wandering Monolith marked, by the way?
I don't think I'm at that point. Hang on. No, I'm one short of that.
Hmm. This has been very enlightening, but before you go, I have to tell you something. I fear the seams that hold our reality together are very nearly ready to burst, and many-mouthed horrors will spill forth from those tears in the cosmic fabric. But there are opportunities as well. TV Odyssey will be closer than ever, or at least the doorway to it will be. First the dangers, then the doorway. Do you get me?
I think I do. Um, I have a question though.
Yes.
Last night, Casey, Casey Wilcox, a Casey Wilcox, told me he doesn't think he's from here. Where are you from? Which one of these are you from?
Crystal, this 18-wheeler has pulled into the gas station. What are you doing right now?
This is the precise moment in which she honks 3 times and starts to peel out around to pick Crystal up. I'm going to drive through the dirt and desert around the building to get back onto the highway.
It looks like your chariot awaits. Better get going now. To you, Tanya.
So that's it. You're just not going to answer.
Oh, I have to maintain a certain level of mystery. Don't you
Kind of a
find?
cliche, big
Well,
guy.
you don't like those either, I gather. Simple literary devices hold no sway over you.
And she just drops the cigarette, like loosens her grip on the cigarette. It falls to the ground, and she just, um, thanks for nothing, and walks back to Crystal.
Tanya, before you go,
10 feet away, turns around. What?
go back to Deep Lake. Don't head up to that amusement park. And then he walks around the corner of the building.
Mhm.
3 more honks.
Indeed. Let's have the scene with you getting in the car, Tanya.
I get into the car.
If you
Well,
do.
I
Or
hope
maybe do something else. I don't know.
Yeah, just totally calm at this point. Yeah.
so. I don't know what that was, but I have a little bit more pressing of a situation. Look in the back, look in the rear view. This
Um,
this truck driver has a hard on for us, and I don't know why. What's going on?
um, and I open the door and I say, "Give me another minute." And I
No, no,
walk
no,
back
no.
to the truck.
No, 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 no. Absolutely not. Crystal is out of the car and going to prevent you from walking towards the truck, like arm around you. No, no, no. We're leaving. I don't know what's going on with you, but you're not getting anywhere near that truck.
Crystal, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. This will be fine.
If you get in the car, I'll believe you. Get in the car and everything will be fine.
Um, I will bow to the pressure, but not before I raise two middle fingers up at the truck.
Literally me dragging you backwards and throwing you in the goddamn passenger seat.
And I yell, "Try it again, motherfuckers. Try it again."
Crystal is going to slam her door shut, rev the engine, and in a cloud of dust, peel out and around the building.
Where do you go? Do you keep heading towards Starlight Kingdom, or do you?
I do.
Very well. I think it's going to wrap our day phase. We'll maybe show you all. We'll assume that you all stop for lunch or something, and by the time you get to Starlight Kingdom, it's early evening. The sun's going down. So you don't have any tapes to watch, so we can't do a an Odyssey tape night phase. And so I just want to figure out what everyone is sort of interested in doing for their night phase. Um, so yeah, what are your thoughts, Santiago?
My thought is that I'm stuffing my newly acquired merchandise into my duffel bag, like taking all my clothes out of that little military duffel sack. jam the crossbow in there, I throw a few more clothes back on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of disguised but available. And I feel like it's time for me to reconnect with the gang and let them know what I learned at the library.
Crystal and well, so you're going to Starlight Kingdom then?
That was my thought. Is it's kind of funny if I show up like after dark in my own ride and trying to like
Yeah.
meander around and find them. It might lead to some good weird if, and they might not even be there by then.
Yeah, I mean, Crystal Tanya sounds like we're gonna have. Are you gonna be at the Starlight Kingdom then as the sun goes down?
I would like to suggest something.
Okay.
Um, I pop the adapter out of the eject button and I pop in Converge audio tapes
Oh, intriguing,
Ooh,
as we
intriguing.
are driving
road
up
trip.
because I've just had this encounter with the big man. I'm feeling that there's something there that I need to know. And the last time that I met with the big man, I got those Converge audio tapes.
Yeah,
So he wasn't going to give me the answer, but I'm hoping that the answer is there.
I like it. Uh, then that is something we will deal with next session once we have Ben here. But as you put them on, I'll just tell you they're just weird like audio soundscapes and meditations, all kinds of strange like close your eyes, that kind of thing.
Right.
Open yourself up to the sound. And that'll be something for next time, but it's on the table. Let's take a 5 minute break. So I've actually had something come up that I have to go deal with in a little bit, but so we're going to go to Stars and Wishes for now. But we're going to pause the play at this night phase, and then we will do the Converge next time. And whenever Converge is over, no matter how that resolves, we'll then pick up with this night phase again. So, but in any case, let's go ahead and go to Stars and Wishes. I'll just start by saying I really enjoyed the character work this session. I thought the in particular the nostalgic move with the Goosebumps book was really great, and I love that whole scene. And also just all the scenes with Crystal and Tanya were really terrific. It was just a fun like getting to know these characters kind of session. So yeah, it really worked for me.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's only been one session, but it's been on the calendar a while since we've had Brian. And I think just coming with that Goosebumps thing was brilliant and like classic Brian. And it was delightful. And then also, I was talking about it a little bit in the chat, but and Brian was of like imagining this scene from a movie, a Humphrey Bogart movie, and like just imagining Santiago seeing himself as Humphrey Bogart in that whole like library interaction was just very fun. And then, yeah, the uh, just I think like it's always fun when Sarah and I get into the tit for tat thing that happened in the Silt versus campaign. I think really early on, it was like session one when our characters were up at that thing and I ate the fungus and like that sort of like I love the tension between our characters that always occurs. And it's kind of fun for this for this time for it to be hitting a little bit later because there are all of these like backstory beats between us. All the name stuff I thought was like Crystal Crystal Starseed, and also like me having pretended that I was Crystal at some point. Like this, there's this whole like tangle of names and who is whom, and I think that that's one of those like serendipity things where like that actually like parallels a lot of what's going on with like the meta reality of the story of like people being different people and like the confusion
My
around
two
who
crystals.
yes
Yeah, the
it's
My Two
my two
Crystals, My Two
crystals
Caseys. Yeah, it's really
my three
strange, right?
crystals yeah
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
yeah so yeah all of that was a really fun space to be playing in especially given what yeah, what Tanya is going through. I thought like behind the scenes, like this was a really fun session. I was trying to hit as many triggers as I could and like touch on as many different things, and it was really fun trying to hit everything within the story. So like I got the Walkman and there's a vulnerable or yeah, the Dawn questions in there and just trying to like get all of that to work within this story I thought was really fun. And then yeah, for the big man to appear was like the icing on the cake there. Um yeah, it was just a really fun session for me. For a lot of the reasons that Jason also said. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I have to say, one of the things I really loved about this session, but I've also enjoyed about this campaign and indeed about the game is like in public access, you can sort of like just say something happens, and and it doesn't have to like make sense right away, right? Like, and yet it still somehow manages to make sense in a weird way, but like in this like sort of meta way, or in this like kind of like like you just described, Mike, like it's in this way that is sort of like it doesn't make any sense logically or rationally, but it kind of makes sense like for the reality of this setting, and it kind of the way it kind of comes together is really fun. It's very fun to like GM or to be a keeper in that kind of situation because you have it makes your toolbox like really wide open, right? Like you can kind of just I can just say, oh yeah, we worked at Starlight Kingdom, remember, and we like when we like made out on the Ferris wheel, like you can just say that, right? Even though it doesn't fit you're not the right age. It clearly didn't happen. Like it's just yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's not to blow that up too much or like expand it out too much, but we talked about that with Silt versus too, of like that idea of like you can just say something weird and then you sort of
Yeah,
like explain that
yeah.
back. And I kind of wonder if that is in some ways like kind of like a gauntlet hallmark because that's part of the Planet Raygun thing too.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's true
yeah.
in a lot of games where it's sort of like we want to encourage the players to just like say what comes to mind
Say the cool
and
thing.
then
Yeah.
build up the reality
Hmm.
and the connections of all of that behind that, but like don't be
Hmm.
afraid to just say a thing and then see where
That's
it
what it
takes you.
is. Yeah. And what's great about it, like in those three examples, but with PR, Silver versus and public access, like there's this idea of like you can do it, but they all have their own different reasons for it, right? Like there's like in universe, in fiction reasons why you can play that way, right? So it's yeah, pretty great.
I can dive in next. I love the just the scene in the car with the two characters, Latanya and Crystal, but also two visuals that came out of that. The image of the throne CD player down the road popping open and then the CD tumbling out. Just really like that visually, and then kind of comical, but the notion of Tanya walking into a sunset and then the camera pulls back and it's a mural, the sunset. Um, and the beverages you all came up with, the mothership is with no straw is just disgusting. It might taste great, but you. Um, and the Alpha Primer Measle Weasel was fantastic. Jason, you've upped your sound effects game. The blender and the 18 wheeler pulling into the lot were both stunning. Really well done. And you guys just talked about that lost memory, wrong age, kind of like say it and then work the game until it matches. I really like that a lot.
Um, I It's been, like Mike said, a minute since we've played, and I had forgotten how much I craved the meta kind of storytelling that this game both inspires, but then we, having told stories together a long while, are really accustomed to that layering and pulling in. I'm looking forward to the fact that I just marked my sandstone arch, which means now I can do essentially signals from the other side and like continue those echoes throughout all of it. But it really was fun to just role play today. Unlike Mike, I was not hitting any of my boxes or doing anything. I was just completely in Crystal's head. And it's something that Car from Brindlewood Bay games do for me well, is that I just am grounded and I already know who this person is. I already understand their trauma. And it's really starting to hit now as we start to get to know these characters. It's a lot of fun to play. I love this whole Starlight Kingdom mystery that we're doing is going to be fantastic. Like the setup is great. It's going to fold into all of our interdimensional stuff very neatly. And so seeing that on the horizon quite literally is fun too. Yeah, just more, please. I'm looking forward to our trippy Converge tape road trip too.
Yeah,
That's
that's
going
my
to be
wish. I'm
another
excited
great.
about. I'm excited to. I'm excited for you all to play it, but also I'm kind of excited to like show Mike like the changes I've made to like convert the mystery into a lost transmission, which I really think is where it lives, right? Like, it's a good place for it to live in this like kind of newer edition of the game, right? And because kind of like with the dream as well, which I've also changed to be a lost transmission. Both of those mysteries, in their own way, like they want to be in this setting, but the lost transmission concept didn't exist when they were written. And but now that it does, like we have a really good opportunity to kind of like make them be like their fullest expression in the game, right? So I'm really happy with it, so I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to play. My other wish is, I actually am really intrigued by it's just an idea I had in the middle of the session, but I'm really intrigued by this maximum overdrive slash duel situation, right? So I'm really curious to see where that goes. It's fun. So yeah.
Should we try and write a mystery in the next month that is
Yeah,
that?
exactly. It'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like the bull imagery is all really purposeful, right? Like
Sure.
with with the killer at Pine Rock Ridge and all that stuff. Like whether there's direct connection or not, who knows? But again, it's that Degoya County weirdness. Like maybe there's a connection there, maybe there's not. Like, but it's fun. Okay, I don't think I have anything else. I got to go run and take care of something. But is everybody good to go? All right. Well, we'll see you all next time.